Morning, this is Brian. Today is a lovely Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. I am at the Mission Dam Trailhead at Mission Trails Regional Park. And what I want to do today in this video is show some appreciation for the vegetation along the San Diego River Valley, especially in the lower portions here, closer to the water. So what we have is a prime example of riparian habitat. Riparian, dealing with stuff that grows near water. Literally, ripa, R-I-P-A, in Latin, basically means stream bank. And riparian habitat often found along stream banks. So, riparian habitats are extremely important for the survival of a lot of our wildlife and plant species here in Southern California. Places like this area, which maybe receives maybe 11, maybe 12 inches of rain a year, which is just a notch above what a desert is. Just a notch above what a desert is, rainfall wise. If you look on the hillsides above us, pretty brown, pretty arid, especially on south facing slopes, and then on north facing slopes, chaparral, which is also adapted to a very dry climate. Then you come down to these little canyon bottoms, and in all, it's a whole different world. It's a whole different world down here. This riparian vegetation is the stuff that grows close to the water. And we got a little pond right here, probably cut off from the flow, from the dryness of the season, as we're going into the drier portion of the year. So we got these little ponds, and then we got a stream on the other side of this embankment here. So it's very biologically important, because water is the lifeblood. Water is the lifeblood. So here, this is why we're able to have huge quantities of shrubs, trees, and other plants that require water to survive. And also for the animals that need to come down from the hills to drink, like deer, bobcats, coyotes, cougars, and other animals. So having this water is crucial. So keeping this area protected is important. So what kind of plants are growing along these riparian corridors? It's the type that require more water. So we got more of the leafy, typically winter deciduous trees, leaves that are growing on the plants and the trees and the shrubs during the summer months, where it's actually the drier part of the year out here. So these leafy deciduous trees need a water source so they can survive, because during the rainy season is when they're usually dormant and leafless. So for them to survive, they kind of need an underground or even above ground water source, such as this over here. So common species found in these riparian habitats are various species of willows, cottonwoods, and usually a little bit further up from them, sycamores. I'd say sycamore is a little more drought hardy than willows and cottonwoods, which cottonwoods can exhibit some drought hardiness, but usually they prefer to grow right where there's a really rich water source. So these larger trees include what we have here. This is red willow, Salix laevigata. Then we have Fremont or western cottonwood, Populus vermontii, subspecies vermontii. And then we also have the very abundant arroyo willow, Salix lanceolipus. Probably the most common willow we have here in Southern California would be this guy, Salix lanceolipus. We also have Gooding's black willow, Salix goodingi, and you might find sandbar willow, Salix exigua, which is a very narrow-leafed willow, more of a tall shrub, and potentially Pacific willow, which is Salix lasiandra, which I have yet to see. Over here, and then these trees can be found maybe even a little further up from it, but sometimes near the stream bed themselves. California sycamore, Placidus racemosa. And these are all generally deciduous, winter deciduous, and in some cases semi-deciduous. Arroyo willow tends to hold on to more leaves in the lower elevations during the winter. And we get some other occasional trees that are found in here, such as let's see, California box elder, Acer negundo subspecies californicum, a great example of which lies at the top of the parking area, which I'll show you momentarily. But for the most part, willows and cottonwoods and sycamores. And then also, usually a little bit uphill from the main stream beds, but sometimes down in it, are these beautiful coast live oaks, Quercus agrifolia, variety agrifolia, which is actually an evergreen tree. In other words, leaves stay on the tree year-round. And then we got other plants such as other shrubs and other plants such as mule fat, Bacchus salicifolia subspecies salicifolia, which can grow in disturbed sites, sometimes upland sites, but then they tend to proliferate more in these canyon bottoms near water. And these are the plants that you get that smoky aroma from, kind of almost like a creosote bush type smell. It comes from this plant. The resinous sap of this plant gives off a very smoky aroma, which is a very common smell in the riparian habitats. And then we got rushes and sedges, very common along here. And we also have one plant that loves to grow near marshy and wet areas, and it's called Yerba Buena, Anamosas californica. And we also have these brambles. I believe this is California blackberry, Rubus ursinus, I believe is the name of this plant here. You do get a few species of Rubus here in Southern California. More coast live oak. Got some more good plant examples coming up here. So let's get up here. I'll show you some more awesome examples of our vegetation. Some of the smaller plants that like to grow in these riparian forests, woodlands, and sometimes in woodlands uphill from them. This is a great place to find poison oak. Toxicodendron diversilobum with the shiny 3 leaflets on it, usually 3. And then here's a red willow up close. Whitish leaf undersides, medium green above, really narrow pointy buds, so you can tell that is red willow. And then California rose, Rosa californica. Another plant found often in woodlands, but also in riparian areas. And usually a plant that's found uphill. Usually this plant is found more in the drier coastal sage scrub. This is Artemisia californica, California sagebrush. Does sometimes enter the riparian zone. You also got other plants like California mugwort, and that's Artemisia Douglasiana as well. Now here's one that's usually not super common, but occasionally found in our riparian woodlands, and especially if you go along 52 between Santee and San Diego, you'll see California box elder maple, and this is a true maple, the actual true maple species. This is Acer negundo subspecies californicum. Been looking forward to seeing one of these in the wild for a while, and finally got to see one up close here. Well, I've seen them higher up in the San Jacinto Mountains, and I've seen them in Palomar Mountain State Park. You'll find this tree actually in some small pockets along the Dome Valley Nature Trail in Palomar Mountain, and that's well above 4,000 feet in elevation, like 4,700 feet up. But here we are, just a few hundred feet above sea level, and we also got populations of box elder maple down here. So another leafy winter deciduous tree. It looks more, to the untrained eye, it looks more like an ash tree because the leaves are compound, not singular. Usually 3 to 5 leaflets. You can see here, it's kind of hard to see because these leaves are, it's very leafy. What I'm holding is actually a full leaf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaflets. But make no mistake, this is actually a true maple. It's very widespread maple found here in the United States and North America, Canada, Eastern U.S., Western U.S., and in places where it's not native, it has spread pretty prolifically. But this is native to San Diego County, and sometimes they have 3 leaflets. But you don't have to worry about this being poison oak because you see the leaves here, just like on all maples, oppositely arranged. They're opposite each other on the twig. So you don't have to worry about this being poison oak. And plus, it forms, a lot of times it forms a large thicket forming shrub, but sometimes can form a medium-sized tree, as you can see here. This is the only box elder I've seen in this vicinity, but I know there are more of them growing. You'll see them from the 52. You'll see them if you're driving along the 52, where the San Diego River is nearby, between San Diego and Santee. There are actually several specimens of these, and they're really large and leafy. Large leafy trees. It's absolutely nuts how awesome these are, and this is amazing how large these leaves are. These can be very fast growing trees, and just like the other leafy deciduous trees and shrubs, they got to be near water. They're not quite as drought tolerant as all those laurel sumacs and scrub oaks and buckwheats that are up on the hillsides. So yeah, this is the riparian area. It's very important. It provides shade and shelter for animals and people. It provides water for drinking and a lush assortment of plants that provide other forms of shelter and food for other animals as well. So, very important that we protect these environments. And for the tree lover, also provides a source of awesome botanizing opportunities. There you have it. The riparian sector of Southern California's lower elevations. We ended off looking at this nice, medium-sized, beautiful California sycamore tree here, Platanus racemosa. And again, this is California box elder, Acer negundo subspecies californicum. And then, also, the actual elder, the blue elderberry, and that is Sambucus nigra variety cerulean. So take time to check out these riparian habitats and learn and appreciate what they have to offer. Quite beautiful areas. And again, a lot of these being deciduous trees and shrubs, come here in late fall, you will get some fall color. Orange brown on the sycamores, yellow on the willows, and I'm assuming yellow on the box elder, and then sometimes some hints of reddish and orange on the wild roses. So don't forget to check out your local riparian area. Be protective of it. Be a steward of it. Appreciate it and protect it. So we want these sycamores to keep growing here for as long as possible. Thanks for watching my little rant on the riparian corridor, and I'll see you on another video.